Let's just start making a beat. 67 BPM, or maybe we should go 65. Addictive drums, really nice. What I like to do is turn all of this stuff off. And I actually like the sound of this hi-hat. I draw pretty much everything in. I never play live that much. Yeah, maybe now already what I do a lot is like I freeze stuff and I bounce it to audio. And then I J, put it together. And I make it a little shorter. After Party Kick 2. That's from the count pack. Just for full disclosure. I like my snares a little early. Maybe a little snap. That's loud. Yeah, what I like to do a lot is just add a lot of layers to the hi-hats. It needs to sort of like sound like one thing. So I layer them with the same timing. So if you look at like open versus closed hi-hats, I feel like the open hi-hats, they work really well with kick sounds. And the closed ones, they work really well in between. I like to keep my kicks on the grid and the snares early and the hi-hats late. I'm looking for some tight hi-hats to do like some 16th notes. Yeah, you all know this feeling of just browsing through your sounds. It's part of the game. Yeah. I'm gonna make them a little shorter. Everything to be sort of like blocks. Let me check. And then I like to take stuff away as well. Something like that. Command J. And a cheat code that I always like to do when I make the beat a little longer is that instead of like starting with a kick, I start with a snare. And that can sound really dope. So let's listen. Oh, it's an illegal move. Yeah, I like that. Still needs some something unique, maybe some perks or something. Don't tell Ian that I do this, but I steal his drum loops and then I EQ a lot out of them, and then I sort of use them as a sort of groove underneath my track. So I'm just gonna try that, and sometimes it works really well and sometimes it doesn't work at all. Like that groove. Yeah, this is nice, but I don't want all the low end and shit of that. of that loop. I just want it to be like a percussive thing. Wow. And then maybe a compressor to the kick. A sidechain compressor. Cheat codes. It doesn't really have to be special. We can also like add some stuff later. But I always like to get some processing going, like some plugins to make it sound a little bit more interesting. Yeah, this Paul tag, man, it's like it's an analog EQ, or like an emulation of an analog EQ. I'm still in trial mode, but I'm definitely like gonna subscribe to this. So what you basically do is like you boost the low end, and then you attenuate it, so you like put it down again, and it creates this thick low end. And actually a fun fact is that in the manual of this device, when it was like a hardware, it said that you weren't supposed to use the two buttons at the same time, but that's actually what like engineers started to do, and it became famous because of that trick. So that's really interesting. Can do the same for like the high end. I canceled a lot of other subscriptions now that I have this. Yeah, this is nice. So what happens when you like use tape or any other type of distortion, and you offset the hi-hat a little bit from the kick drum, then you see like it's a little bit later than the kick drum, and then you sort of get this saturation solo. Which I think sounds really nice. I think the snap can use some more reverb. Not that much.